Let me ask you a question. Have you ever wanted to do anything, but just wanted to feel ready before you did it? And I mean stuff like losing weight, going to the gym, applying for a new job, stuff like that. Have you ever just wanted to have that I'm ready feeling, but it feels like every time you get to that point of wanting to do it, out of nowhere, it just drops right down. Listen, today we are going to be talking about that. Today's topic is I don't feel ready. And if that's you, if that's something that you're struggling with, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to let you know that that is struggle that you're having. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. I struggle with that as well. And here are some things I've done and I'm still doing to combat that. And if at any point in time, if you have any advice you'd like to give, drop it in the comment section. Let's make this a conversation because nobody has all the answers. So come with me today as we talk about I just don't feel ready. What's up, guys? I want to welcome you to the Let's Talk About It podcast, where today we are talking about I just don't feel ready. And if that's you, I need you to lock in, bro, or sis, whoever watching, because if you ever struggled with this, I want to tell you right now, you can overcome this. You can beat this. We can beat this. And I'm not coming to you as like a Dr. Phil or therapist. I'm just going to let you know that, yes, I struggle with this as well, but I'm not going to let that stop me. And one of the things you always have to understand about your feelings is that feelings are not facts. Say that with me. Put that in the comments. Feelings are not facts. Now, feelings, yes, can absolutely have some right and wrong things to it. Yes, you can have a gut feeling deep down inside, but that doesn't mean you take it as the full gospel. So that's what we're talking about today. All right. So do me a favor before we even get started, before we stick our toe into the water to see if it's hot or cold, I need you to like this video. I need you to share this video because there are at least 5 people that you know that struggle with not feeling ready and you need to help them. So be a good friend. Share them this video. And I mean, do it now. All right. So point number 1, feelings can be deceptive. Now, feelings are real. However, they always don't tell the full gospel truth. Just because you feel like you're not ready for something does not mean you are not ready. Just because you feel like you don't want to go to the gym, that doesn't mean you shouldn't go to the gym. And those moments where you hear that voice saying, I don't feel ready, I don't feel that, ignore that voice. Just go anyway. The hardest part about going to the gym is honestly getting in your car and showing up. The moment you get in your car and you drive to the gym, the rest is easy. You go in, you get your workout in. Even when you don't feel like going to work. The hardest part is getting in your car, going to your job, and for some of y'all, staying at work. But that's a conversation for another day. But the point is, even though you don't feel like you're ready, just do it anyway. Don't allow those negative feelings to come against your goal. Feelings are deceptive. And here's another thing about feelings. If you always follow your feelings, you will abort your purpose. I need you to put that in the comments. If I follow my feelings, I will abort my purpose. See this thing we're wearing called human body, human flesh? It wants to be comfortable. It doesn't want to move. It doesn't care about success. It cares about comfort. And the thing about comfort is that it's a silent, deadly killer that will keep you where you are in the season you are simply because it doesn't want to move. It doesn't want to grow. It doesn't want to expand. But you cannot allow your mind and your feelings to start agreeing. You have to go with your mind, your heart, your soul, your body and say, even though I don't feel like I want to do this, I'm going to push forward anyway. So that's just point number 1. And if you like what I just said, I need you to hit that like button, hit that share button as we're going to point 2 about not feeling ready. Point number 2, you cannot allow your feelings to hinder your progress. All right. Just because you start something, you start feeling iffy, you start feeling like you don't want to do this no more, that doesn't mean stop. Okay. There are many times where people have quit the process because they just felt like it wasn't happening quick enough. It didn't feel like it was happening soon enough. And that's not the time to tap out. I would even say the times to push harder is when you feel like you can't make it, when you feel like you can't reach your goal. Those are indications that you are close. Those are indications that if you keep pushing a little bit more harder, you're going to be to your goal before you know it. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when your emotions disagree. Oh man, you got to understand that part. The moment you allow your emotions and your feelings and your mind to all align together, it can either go good or bad. It just matters who's ruling. If your feelings and your emotions are taking you over, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to quit. You're not going to be faithful to it. You're not going to actually want to do it. But if you can get those mental mindsets, that mental thought of yours in line, and then tell your emotions, I don't care what you feel. Look at your feelings and say, I don't care what you think. And the moment you get to a point where everything has been going and you are aligned together, you're going to become an unstoppable force, because discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when your emotions disagree. All right. I hope you got something from that. Point number 3. Point number 3, and number 3 might hit hard for a lot of y'all. Number 3, feeling ready is actually a myth. Nobody feels ready. Nobody feels ready. Look at me. Nobody feels ready. Get out your mindset that you can't do something because you don't feel ready. I remember when I became a father at 24 years old, I didn't feel ready, right? But that doesn't mean I can just say, I don't want the baby no more. I want to do my own thing. No. A real man stands up and takes care of his family no matter what he feels. So just because you don't feel ready, that doesn't mean you halt the process. Keep going anyway. Keep showing up anyway. And I promise that as you keep going, as you keep showing up, there are going to be things that's going to be revealed. I want you to remember this. You don't wait for bravery to show up. Bravery occurs when you move. That's the one thing you have to understand. It's when you move is when things start to shake. Not just outwardly, but inwardly. If you're looking for courage, move. You're looking for discipline, move. You got to move. You got to do something. You got to have something going on. I promise you, the moment that you decide to move, there's going to be something that happens in you. So you just need to move. I need you to put that in the comments. Hashtag move. Hashtag go. Whatever that word is for you, you need to understand that this is the season to not be stationary. It is time to go. It is time to move. On to point number 4. And if you need more reason to move, point number 4 is comfort is a silent killer. Imagine sitting next to a snake all your life. All your life, you're just sitting next to this snake and it's just growing big and big and big. And when that snake finally get big enough, it's going to consume you. That's what comfort is. Comfort is a silent killer that gives you false truths. It creates false narratives so that you don't move. It's okay to sit back and play your game and watch whatever you're going to watch and eat the Cheetos, eat the Doritos because it feels good. You worked a 9-to-5 already. You've dealt with all the hard people. You don't have to go to the gym after work. Does that sound familiar? You don't have to start that business. You don't know if it's going to fail. You don't know if it's going to succeed. What if it fails? What if people laugh at you? What if people don't support you? All of these thoughts and these emotions are the comfortable lies that comfort tells you, because comfort never wants you to change who you are, because comfort is comfortable with you remaining who you are. And in order to change that, in order to confront that, you have to look comfort in the face and say, yeah, we used to rock back in the day, but I am not the same person. I am changing my identity. So me and comfort, we don't hang out no more. I might have an occasional comfort every now and again to enjoy my time, but this is not where I live. This is not where I stay. Please understand that being comfortable is not wrong. It's not bad, right? It's only bad when you consume yourself in comfort, right? Get to the point where you say, I'm comfortable for a moment, but guess what? It's time to go to work. In this season, I am not looking to be comfortable. In fact, I'm looking to be uncomfortable. Losing weight is uncomfortable. Dealing with work people is uncomfortable. Dealing with, trying to go to the gym, it's uncomfortable. Yes, you're going to be tired. But the moment you say, I'm not going to do this because I want to be comfortable, you are slowly killing yourself. So I'm encouraging you today. Don't allow comfort to be that silent killer, but also don't allow working yourself to death also be a silent killer. Point number 5. Progress requires identity shift. You cannot become the person you need to be while you're protecting those old habits. Some things have to go in the trash. You're going to have to let go of those old habits. Those habits of you want to start something, then you want to stop. You want to start going to the gym, then you want to stop. You want to start losing weight, then you want to stop. You have to stop those habits, and you have to get a pen and paper and really do homework on yourself. Why do I want to stop? Why don't I finish the progress? Why don't I always see anything through? Because there's a mental security in your mind that is built to stop you. And you have to address that and ask yourself, why do I feel angry? Why do I feel depressed? What am I holding on to? And I promise the moment that you do that, the moment you answer those questions, you're going to come to a place of clarity and understanding that though you used to be a certain way, you are building a new identity. You're building a new brand. You cannot take that old mindset into this new season of your life. I once was 20 years old, but today I'm 30 years old. I can't think like a 20-year-old no more because I'm 30 with more responsibility, more promise. There's so much more in me that I can't bring that 20-year-old mindset. So that's you. Right now, you cannot move forward until you shift your identity. Think differently about yourself. You're not lazy. You're not a procrastinator. Stop saying that about yourself. Change your identity, because when you shift your identity, there's going to be things that shift in your mind. All right. Point number 6. Movement requires momentum. What if I told you you were just one workout from becoming the person you wanted to be? What if I told you you were one prayer away from becoming the prayer warrior that you need to be? What if I told you you were one meal away from becoming the best cook that you can become? Guess what? That's true. Everybody that ever started in the gym, they all had a day one. Anybody that started lifting weights, they all had a day one. Anybody that started a business, they've all had a day one. Anybody that's created content, they've all had that first video. And guess what? Stop trying to be perfect. It's not about going to the gym having a perfect workout. It's not about having the perfect meal plan. It's not about having the perfect editing skills. It just matters that you start. Have that in your mindset. It's not about being perfect. Sometimes we want to be so perfect. We want to look so good that we never start. We romanticize everybody seeing us for the first time, and we just want them to have this aha moment. No, get that out your mindset. Your first workout is just for you. Your first meal prep is just for you. Your first time creating content or doing anything it is that you want to do is for you. Prove yourself wrong. Prove your feelings wrong. Your feelings say you can't do it. Prove them wrong, right? And the moment you can start proving yourself wrong, and you can start proving them wrong, whoever them is. But you can't prove your mama wrong if you can't prove yourself wrong. Some of you grew up in environments where people told you wasn't going to be nothing. You ain't going to do this. You ain't going to do that. And a piece of you believed them. You believe them deep down in your heart that you can never. But I'm challenging you today to make that one move. All you need is one. Take out your phone right now. Come on. And if you're watching me on your phone, take out a pen and paper, get an iPad, and I need you to find a date on the calendar and say, this is the day I move. Right here, Monday, July 5th, whatever day July 5th falls on this year of 2026. This is the day I'm going to move. I'm going to move this day. And if you're brave enough, I want you to start tomorrow. If you're brave enough, I want you to start next week. If you're really brave, I want you to start right now and say, I don't care how my first workout looks. I'm just going to do it. I don't care if I mess up. I don't care what it looks like. I'm just going to do it, because movement requires momentum. The moment you have that momentum in you, the moment you have that, you are going to shift some things. Movement requires that momentum. And the moment you have that momentum, bam, you're there. All right, step number 7. Stop romanticizing the finished product and romanticize the process. I remember when I was watching Steve Harvey, and he said something that I never forgot. He said, When you say, I have to go to the gym, you take all the power away from it. You shift your language to say, I get to go to the gym. You now have a reason to go in that gym and fight hard, because every goal, every dream that you have, there is somebody right now in a worse situation laying in a hospital bed that can't do what you do. They don't have the ability that you have. And right now, you have the opportunity to make your dreams come true. It's not that you have to get money, you get the opportunity to get money. You have to be grateful for life, for strength, for health. Health is wealth, and there's not a lot of people that have a lot of good health. So you cannot sit back no longer. You need to move. You need to do it now. Who cares if you don't feel ready? How long will you not feel ready? It doesn't matter how long you don't feel ready. Take the first step. Make the move now. I promise you that if you get to the place where you stop looking at the finished product. Imagine you go to the gym and you see all those guys there with those muscles, the real Greek gods, right? You can't keep looking at that every single day. I want to be that. I want to be that. I can't wait till I'm that. And you go buy the shirts that they wear because their shirts don't fit you yet. You need to romanticize that bench. You need to romanticize that elliptical. You need to romanticize that treadmill and show up every day with the passion saying, I know what I want, but this is where I am. And I'm going to take every single moment to enjoy the process. So that's you. I want to talk to you today. I want to tell you, enjoy the process. Enjoy where you are. Enjoy the sleepless nights. Enjoy the sore muscles, and enjoy that little hunger you feel when you start that meal prep, that meal plan. You're going to be a little hungry. Now, you need to enjoy that. Progress is going to explode like you've never seen before. And no, it's not going to feel good. I'm sorry to tell you. A change, identity shift, all these things, they sound real good. But when you actually go through the process, it might not feel great. But that doesn't mean you stop. You keep going. You keep fighting. Now, we've had some great conversation today. Point number 8 is really going to put the nail in the coffin for a lot of us. Have a plan. Point number 8 is have a plan. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to do something good. I wanted to go to the gym and I had no plan. I wanted to eat right. I had no plan. And I remember when I was in high school, I went to Rivercross High School, and I remember my first day, they gave me what's called a schedule. Right? And I knew what class I had to take. I knew what time I had to be there. I knew the teacher that was there. And when I showed up to the class, the teacher would have already the work ready, already lined up. And my whole day was structured. And after I left high school, I went to college. And when college happened, I had a syllabus that I was able to see my teacher, see the work I had to do. Everything was so lined and structured. And then when I left college, my life was just like, all right, who's going to do this for me? And my life was like, you got to do it for you. So I went years of just not having a plan. Sure, I would go to the gym, but I had no plan. Sure, I would pray, but I had no plan. And what happened 9 times out of 10, I would stop. I would quit. Because there was no plan and process. I'm sure you guys know the quote. Those who fail to plan to fail. Please understand that if you do not have a plan and process, if you do not have a pinpoint plan of how you're going to do this, you are planning to fail. You have to understand something, that we are mechanical. Our minds is like a machine. And sometimes what happens is, if we have all this information coming in at once, we get to a point where we start to overload. Have you ever been at that overload moment where I want to lose weight, I want to go to the gym, I want to eat right, I got to take care of the kids, I got to do this, I got to pay this, I got to pay that bill, I got to do this, I got to turn around, and before you know it, you end up silent, you end up depressed, you end up defeated because there's so much coming at you, you don't know what to do. You know what that means? You need to create a spreadsheet. You need to have a drawn out plan of your next 30 days of what you're going to do. You need to have a plan of your next workout, what muscle groups you're going to work out. You need to have a plan of what you're going to eat. Don't just start a goal without a plan. Set a plan in place. Make your goals very specific and execute. All right. So you want to make a move. Yes. Create that momentum. Go to the gym. Matter of fact, your first time going to the gym, I don't want you to have a plan. I want you to just go to the gym. Normalize going to the gym. Just make it normal. Right. But then there comes a part of your season where you say, you know what? I'm dedicated to the gym. Now I want to become a student of what I'm doing. And even if it's for the business that you want to create, make a plan and stick to it. All right. So point number 9. That same paper that you had, that you wrote your meal plan and you wrote everything that you're going to do that's so great, I need you to flip that page over and I need you to plan a rest period. I don't care what it looks like, because point number 9 is plan your rest before burnout happens. Burnout is a real thing. If you get to the point where you're working so hard, you don't take no time to rest, you're going to burn yourself out. That's what happens to me a lot of the times. I could be working so hard, going to church, going to work, doing all these great things. And before you know it, I get overwhelmed. I get upset. I get frustrated because I just don't have no more in me. You have to look at yourself like a piece of pie and ask yourself, where are the slices going? Where am I serving everybody? I'm serving my job. I'm serving my kids. I'm serving my wife. And after everything is done, after I've done everything I needed to do, how many slices do I have to myself? And sometimes I come home with an empty plate. After I've done everything I needed to do, I come home empty. And if that's you, you need to address that. You need to plan a rest period. You need to understand that this is not the season where you burn yourself out trying to be successful, because you are running a marathon. You're not running a sprint. A sprint is you try and do things within the next 30 to 90 days. That's a sprint. But now we're talking about a marathon where reaching your goals, it might take a couple years. It might take 10 years. That doesn't mean you just want to run so fast. No, you need to find your pace. Every 6 months, you might need to take 2 weeks off. Every 30 days, you might need to take 3 days off. Find your pace. Take your time. Rome was not built in one day, and neither will you. So take your time. Take your time. And here we are at point number 10. I want to thank you for watching this video. And if you are still here, I need you to put a fire emoji in the comments so I can see all of those who rocked with me to the end. Point number 10, celebrate the small wins. Now, this is one that's hard for me to do. Sometimes I always compare myself to where I want to be, and I'm not where I need to be. And I have all these negative feelings that come even when I'm in the process. And one time I had a conversation with my apostle, and he told me, bro, you need to celebrate the small wins. And in that moment, I realized that in my life of 30 years, I've done a lot. And I've never once stopped and gave a round of applause to myself. I never had a moment of clarity to say, wow, look what I've done. Look what the Lord has allowed me to do. And I want to tell you that right now. Get to a point where the smallest progress you make, take a moment to celebrate. The moment you realize you've been going to the gym faithfully for 1 week, take a moment and celebrate yourself. That doesn't mean take a moment to have that celebratory ice cream. We got to break them old habits, remember? But have a moment to say, wow, I've done something. And I'm building something. And I promise you, every time you accomplish a goal, have a moment where you can clap and applause for yourself. Because I'm going to tell you now, nobody's going to clap for you in the process. They're only going to clap for you when you start posting the pictures of you transforming your body. They're not going to clap for you while you're going to the gym every day, you're eating right every single day, you're posting the content, you're doing all these great things every single day. They're not going to clap. I promise you. Maybe they might say, oh, you look different, right? But you're not going to get the full round of applause, right? You're only going to get that full round of applause when you launch that business and you reach your first $1 million. Then that's when everybody want to clap. But they don't see the sleepless nights that you're going to have to go through. And the only person that can clap the hardest for you is yourself, because you're there when you want to quit. You're there when you want to give up. That's point 10. Celebrate the small wins. Don't wait till something big and miraculous happens in order to celebrate. Celebrate. Every single day you wake up, celebrate. Celebrate by saying, God, thank you for waking me up this morning. Start me on this brand new day. I thank you for the opportunity to change the things in my life, because not everybody has that. And there you have it, the 10 steps of how to combat those feelings of I'm not feeling ready. If there's one thing in this video that stuck out to you, I need you to drop it in the comment section. Drop it right in the comment section and say, point number 3 was for me. Point number 4, needed to hear more. Whatever that is, I need you to put that in the comment section, because I want us to have a great conversation about it. And if you know anybody that is struggling with this feeling, that they can't do it, that they don't want to do it, they don't feel ready, share this video with them and say, you need to watch this, because this is going to help you not just feel ready, but actually show you that you are ready and those feelings are lying to you. But as we always say at the Lions Den Empire, unleash your inner king, and let's turn today's challenges into today's victories. God bless you. Lions Den Empire, Let's Talk About It podcast. This was one of our first episodes of the year. There's going to be a lot more to come. Stay tuned. Peace.